Of course, it can happen, but there's a case brought in the Gemara of Shmuel HaKatan that Rebbe called different people and said, whoever, is there anyone here who's not been invited? Because the only people. So there's one of the people came who was not invited, but he wouldn't admit it. But Shmuel HaKatan said, I'm the one. He wanted to take. He always took accusations upon himself. It became part of his character. Yeah. He took accusations upon himself, which were not true, because he didn't want other people to be attacked. To avoid, I mean, there are instances brought in the Gemara where a tzaddik took upon himself the guilt in order that other people should not feel ashamed.
This is a bit different.
Huh?
This is
yes, a different situation. But the situation was quoted before. If it's like that, of course it could still happen. There's some rabbis, I don't know what rabbis. There's for example, there's a rabbi today, all the measures being taken to make it easier to. They want to introduce public transport into Tel Aviv on Shabbos, and they want to. The head of his party is giving legitimacy to the Reform rabbinate, and he's cutting down payments for let's say any students who come from abroad in yeshivot will no longer be subsidized by the government in any institution. Not in the universities, yes. Universities, they give the subsidies. But in the yeshivot, and one of the people in that party is a real Orthodox rabbi who is supporting it. And there are plenty of rabbis who have sort of contradictory situations, as we know. I did know a rabbi who claimed he was 100% Orthodox, and he said, but he said, as an Orthodox Jew, you don't have to accept Torah min hashamayim. He wrote books about it as well. And also, as you know, this person, people have got different contradictions in their approach, So these things.
How is the ordinary man supposed to take that? How is the ordinary man in the street supposed to take that?
Well, if he wants to get clarification, he should learn Torah itself. Just study the Torah and see what the Torah says. Any other questions?
I also,
yes.
The Rabbanut who make a new decree, they make new halacha. Okay.
Yes.
You say this same value is like is a Torah. It's still part of Torah. It's Torah.
So what?
You say it's Torah.
Yes.
Okay, because in Torah they say you follow the rabbi of the nation.
Yes.
But in one side they do a lot of new halacha, which is according to a high level of people who already respect most of the mitzvot, and this halacha, it's good to protect maybe and to help the Haredi and Orthodox movement and people. But what about the ordinary people? The more there is new modern halacha, the more they make new sins, because they cannot almost achieve the 10. They cannot achieve the 10 commandments in the 613, and now there is more. So what's happening in the sky? And when we go to judge, we will be shown this. I didn't respect to have an iPhone.
The what?
if they will show me, you didn't respect the halakha of Rabbanan, you don't have iPhone, well, they respect the somehow, which value, how we manage with this, because
Don't quite. What's your question?
the question is, what is
Adding more, you're making more halachot, so more people keep. So more people keep less. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
so at the end, when they don't respect all this modern halakha and the last halakha for years and years, what's
They're not
happened?
respecting halakha before. What's the point of you coming and telling him this is something new? He's not respecting what's in the Torah. So only wasting your time doing something new.
So the question is, how is it going to be judged?
On?
How is it going to be judged when we die? How we going to...
How's he going to be judged, he wants?
How will it be judged for what?
For the non-respect of mitzvot, of the new halakha.
Very good question.
Yes.
Yeah,
Avishai, you tell me the question. Your
He's
question.
saying
You ask me the
the
question.
more the rabbis make new degrees and new halakha, like sit up the front of the bus, sit at the back of the bus,
That's
the
not
more halakha they make, it gives you more chance, more sins you can make. Because the more they make halakha, the more sins you can make after.
he's giving an example of the cell phone as well.
Yeah, any kind of little halakha like this, but when we die, what happens in the judgment?
Look, it's like this.
You know, there's things like sitting at the back of the bus, sitting at the front of the bus, all this halakha. So all this from the rabbis.
This-
People believe it. They
Look, there are halachot which are halachot based upon the Gemara, upon the Shulchan Aruch. And then there are situations that arise that let's deal with the questions. You're dealing with modern technology. When the first movies appeared, yeah. So in the Torah circles, they said anyone that goes to a movie, and most of the movies contain a bit of pornography. So pornography is prohibited from the Torah. Because the same in the Shema, you shouldn't go astray after your eyes and things and look at people without clothes on, let's say, pornography. Because it arouses a stimulus which a person should use in marriage, but otherwise keep away from it. So here there's a principle in the Torah of trying to develop pure thought, but there's no prohibition in seeing a movie where there's no pornography. It's not different to you can have today everyone uses videos, yeah. So it's the videos. It's a movie. The videos can be there are plenty of Torah videos, which exclude all forms of which in fact people even teach Torah through videos, and you can teach Torah through movies as well. But people in certain circles said, well, that if you're going to open the door to movies to youngsters, they'll go from movies without pornography to movies with pornography. Then after came the television. So many said, well, a person mustn't have television in any circumstances. And today, of course, the television is used, in fact. Hidabrut, one of the biggest Kirov movements, their main power is through television. They have regular television programs of Hidabrut, of introducing people to Torah. And as the means can be used. But in fact, you can't call it an Avera in itself, because the method of television is all right. The question how we use it. And the same applies to the iPhones. Otherwise, if the iPhone is used for kosher things, it's kosher. Al-Pidin. But since when people use it widely, it easily drifts over to pornography. Pornography is forbidden. Same applies to use of the internet. So, it doesn't you know? Today, the world works through internet. All business, everything works through internet. You could try and keep it kosher.
Why you have to make new halacha every time of this? Why we don't just
No, so
the principle and the morality and the ethic
the
of
principle is
showing it
in
all the
front of
time?
Hashem. In front of Hashem, you'll be judged if you, let's say, if you didn't stop yourself from becoming addicted to pornography. That you'll be judged for. Yeah. So you've got to work it out, you know. And this is in the system of education for the public. Once the public uses internet or different types of phones without any limitations, without having any kashrut over it, so it easily slips over to areas where it's not kosher. The same applies to some extent to the prohibition of usury, you know, which they made. This is a similar situation. So there's certain that there's much easier, but still it's got to be controlled in such a way that it shouldn't lead to exploitation of ribis.
I understand this. I understand the circle of Torah. They can say good advice.
Yeah.
But why they have to make new halacha? Because when you don't respect the halacha according from Rabbanan, it's you get judged for this. It's written like this. You should not feel bad about it.
It's not a new halacha. It's not much a new halacha. It's like the sages said. Simchat Beit HaSheriva was a big simcha. Every year, the biggest national simcha, time of Beit HaMikdash. So it led too much mixing between the men and the women, some rejoicing and so on. So they made there a takana. So Tikkun Gadol also shown to have a special different terrace for the women's department. It was near the Beit HaMikdash, so they wanted to make sure that people shouldn't be too much mixing at times of rejoicing. But this is, these are takanot made in order to not to allow the people to be dragged into.
I understand this, but why they have to make halacha, to publish halacha, to write halacha in the street everywhere? Why? Why they have to write like this? And people they say it's halacha. They can do advice, they can do ethics, they can do morals, they can do speech, but why they have to make an halacha? And then after we don't respect it, then we have more trouble?
Well,
and more confusion is bringing.
It backfires too.
Huh?
I said it backfires. You know, like that,
Yes.
the biggest secret left you, the internet, as it is. People that go on the internet, you're holding. I see what winds up happening, I'll tell you. I see this at the internet cafe when I check my email. You have Haredi people looking at pornography in public. It's even worse. I mean, like, they go to the internet cafe and do like, oh,
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Okay.
If you go to the Torah, then you should take